He was the soul of the Karate Kid, the gentle but firm mentor whose words guided Daniel LaRusso and inspired generations of moviegoers. Yet away from the cameras, Pat Morita's road to becoming Mr. Miyagi was anything but smooth. In the years before his passing, he finally revealed the obstacles, rejections, and strokes of fate that shaped his most iconic role. This isn't just a tale about crane kicks, wax-on lessons, or memorable one-liners. It's about the doubts, the behind-the-scenes battles, and the persistence of a man who refused to give up when audiences think of the Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi is the first image that comes to mind, a humble handyman with sharp wit, quiet strength, and a wisdom that carried Daniel through his toughest moments. But few realize that Pat Morita nearly lost the role before he ever set foot on set. By the early 1980s, Marita was known almost exclusively as a comedian. His resume was filled with stand-up routines, guest appearances on television, and a reputation for delivering punchlines with perfect timing. To Hollywood executives, that was a problem. They didn't believe a man best known for humor could convincingly play a war-hardened, emotionally scarred mentor. Producer Jerry Weintraub, one of the most powerful men in Hollywood at the time, dismissed Marita's name outright whenever it appeared. To him, a comedian lacked the seriousness, what he called the gravitas, to embody a character like Miyagi. Casting directors scoured Hollywood, auditioning tougher-looking, more serious actors. Marita wasn't even offered a chance to read. But director John Avildsen, who had already proven his eye for underdogs with Rocky, thought differently. He believed the film's success depended on a genuine bond between mentor and student, not just action sequences. Avildsen insisted that Marita be given a chance. And though it felt surreal to even be included in the casting process, Marita finally walked into that audition room, nearly overlooked, but ready. At that point, Marita's career had slowed dramatically. After enjoying fame on Happy Days and other shows, he found himself back in Hawaii, piecing together a living as an MC, nightclub performer, and even a copywriter for ads. It paid the bills, but it wasn't the Hollywood career he had once tasted. Then came a small, personal decision that unknowingly changed everything. He grew a beard. Not for a role, not for television, just because he felt like trying something different. The scruffy look gave him an older, more rugged appearance, very different from the clean-cut comic audiences knew. When his agent unexpectedly called him back to Los Angeles with a script for The Karate Kid, that beard helped him appear weathered, believable, and perfect for a man like Miyagi, ironically. The opportunity almost slipped through his fingers. Marita was ready to let his agent go, convinced there was no future left for him in Hollywood. But as he walked out of the office, a secretary called him back. His agent had one last script for him. That script was The Karate Kid. Marita later said it felt like destiny. Had he not been in Hawaii? Had he not grown that beard? Had he not hesitated that day, he might have missed the role entirely. When Marita finally auditioned, he didn't walk into a room filled with producers and executives. Instead, he found only John Avildsen, camera in hand, battery pack strapped to his chest, ready to film every second. Avildsen didn't ask for scripted lines. He asked Marita to talk about himself, so Marita did, sharing stories of his career, his struggles, and his life. Only after that did he pick up the script, improvising as Miyagi with raw emotion. When he finished, he expected a polite dismissal. Instead, Avildsen looked at him and said, "Pat, don't you want to take the script with you? You might need it." That small remark filled Marita with hope. Avildsen replayed the taped audition during heated studio debates. And when Weintraub finally watched it, he admitted reluctantly, "That looks like Miyagi." Even then, Weintraub wasn't fully convinced. Marita endured multiple screen tests, including chemistry reads with Ralph Macchio. The turning point came after their final test, dressed in costume, sharing a quiet scene that revealed the heart of the relationship between Daniel and Miyagi. When the cameras stopped rolling, there was silence in the room. For the first time, no one doubted Marita. That night, Weintraub made the call. Marita, waiting nervously at home, picked up the phone. "Pat," Weintraub said, "I almost made the worst mistake of my life. Congratulations, you've got the part." Marita didn't brag or gloat. he accepted with quiet pride. After years of rejection, he had fought through the doubt and earned the role of a lifetime. Winning the part was one hurdle. Giving Miyagi a voice the world would never forget was another. Marita knew the wrong approach could ruin the character. Too exaggerated, and it would become offensive. Too polished, and it wouldn't ring true. Ironically, Miyagi's cadence was born from exhaustion. During an early audition, drained and weary, Marita's speech slowed into clipped, deliberate phrases. Avildsen loved it. From there, Marita carefully shaped the voice, a balance of broken grammar and thoughtful pauses that gave Miyagi dignity. Instead of being a weakness, it became a kind of poetry. Simple lines like wax on, wax off carried the weight of wisdom. The rhythm made audiences lean in and listen. Off-screen, fans were stunned when they later heard Marita's real voice, smooth, quick, and articulate. The contrast showed just how much artistry he poured into Miyagi. For Pat Morita, the Karate Kid was more than a movie role. It was salvation. After years of being typecast as a comedian, Miyagi allowed him to reveal the depth of his talent. In his later years, Marita reflected that Miyagi shaped him just as much as he shaped the character. The role redeemed him, defined his career, and left a legacy that continues to inspire audiences decades later. Mr. Miyagi wasn't just a part Pat Morita played, it was a gift he gave to the world, and one that gave back to him in return.